So the topic and the question of one website versus a portfolio of website has been rolling on for years now. But the information that's been coming out over a recent period, really, the last 6 months, seems to be strongly going in favor of you focusing on one website. So today's video, I'm just going to discuss a little bit about my thoughts, some of the thoughts I've had from speaking to somebody recently at a conference I went to, and some of the thoughts that John Dykstra gave in an email very recently, which, by the way, if you're not subscribed to, I highly recommend you subscribe to his email list, where he also talked about an event that he went to held by Mediavine, where he also heard the same rumours and the same opinions that I've heard of, that most of the successful big publishers are focusing on one website. So let's have a look at the pros and cons of both. Let's get into this. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel again. So today we're going to talk about one website versus multiple websites. Now, what are some of the pros and cons of having one website versus a portfolio? I've discussed this many times, so I will briefly go over some of the original opinions and how my opinion might have slightly changed in the past few months. So my original opinion was you always needed a few smaller websites to give you a little bit of security against being hit by any algorithm updates. i.e., if you have one website and you're putting all your proverbial eggs in one basket and that gets hit by Google, your business, your livelihood, your career, and sometimes your energy is zapped instantly. Whereas with a number of websites, you can spread that risk, and if one gets hit, hopefully you've got another one you can work on, or one gets hit, one goes up, that kind of scenario. Well, over the past year, I've definitely been shifting my focus towards more of having a 1 or 2 website portfolio so you can focus all your attention on that one site. Now, after recently coming back from a conference, it was really crystal clear that the majority of successful publishers out there all had one website. Now, not only did they have one website, it's one website they've had for a long time. And the opinion from them was of 2 things. Number 1, it kept their team and themselves focused. And number 2, that it was easier to build a brand. And a brand is sellable. And at the end of the day, most of us are building our websites to have a sellable business. Now, trying to create a brand for several small sites isn't going to be possible. You're always going to stay within that niche bracket. Whereas focusing on one main website, building that up, building a brand, you're building a sellable product that is much easier to get those big, high 5 and 6 figures for. Now, like I said, I recently got an email from John Dykstra, who went to a similar conference, I think it was in the States as well, where he said the same thing, that the majority of people he spoke to were seeing more success with one big website. Now, John himself has, I believe, one really big website out of his portfolio that has always been his bread and butter, and he's had that for many years. And that's primarily his main source of income, that one big website. So is there a risk of having one big website? That was my question that I asked most of the big publishers. And yes, there is going to be a risk. And most of them admitted in the first 3 or 4 years, they all had sleepless nights where they knew at one point it could be taken away from them, could get hit by a Google Core update, could have a penalty or malware or hacks or anything like that. However, as the years went by and their authority grew and the relevance within the topic grew and their brand grew, they started to feel more secure about their website. And it got me thinking about John Dykstra's website. There's been multiple, if not hundreds, of Google updates in the last few years. And I don't ever remember hearing John saying that he got massively hit. I know he has taken some hits on some of his sites, but we're not talking 80 or 90% wipeout hits. So it does look like having a branded authority website does offer you that little bit of security. It also offers you some security against being copied. Most smaller niches, let's say within under 200 or 300 pages with a low authority, again, let's say under, and this is just a like Moz metric of like DA40, are classed as relatively weak, and some competitors will go after you. Whereas if you're getting your authority in the 60s and above, and you've got, tens of thousands of pages on there, you might fend off some of those opportunist copycats that just see a weak site and go for the throat. With a bigger website, it does offer you a little bit of protection against that. So what am I doing with my sites? Well, I do have a thought in mind. I've got 2 website case studies that I've done in the last couple of years. I've got hutchandcage.com, which is a pet website, and it's got around 500 articles. And then I have an aged domain called Gardenia Organic, which has nearly 1,000 articles on. So my thought process is, should I merge the pet website and bring it into the gardening niche? It kind of fits gardening, wildlife, home, backyard. It kind of all fits. So I'm looking into the possibility at the minute of merging those together and actually making a stronger branded connection out of the 2 sites, pulling them into one. Now, I've not decided 100% if I'm going to do that yet. I'm looking at the pros and cons of that. But it does look like there's some pros straight off the back. Number 1, I'll only have one website that we can focus on. We can put all our team, all our efforts in one website. Number 2, will the backlinks help each other out and strengthen the overall authority? Now, all those backlinks will be interlinked. Obviously, we'll go through each page and we'll have to do a lot of interlinking and rebranding it. But will those backlinks help each other out? And will it pull the authority overall up for the website? Not sure. Not done it before. Something I'm looking into, and I will, as always, let you know. So yeah, that's it really. Just wanted to talk about one website versus multiple. The favour does seem to be at the moment in one website, but we are talking long term. The majority of the people I spoke to had had their websites 10 years or more. We as entrepreneurs or online marketers often try and see success very, very quickly. If we're not making a couple $1,000s within a year, we're quite disappointed. And that's not very realistic in some circumstances. So, I do think we need to look more long term. I do think we need to look at brand awareness, and we do need to look at that strength and authority that one big website can give you. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not talking about a really broad niche. I'm not talking about writing about everything under the planet, because they struggle, they really do. And I've personally got one of those, and it's been 15 months and it is still struggling. It's growing each day, but very, very slowly. What I'm talking about is one specific niche that you are the authority. You are the go-to person and go-to website in that topic. And that's what I mean by one big authority website. And like I say, keep in mind brand awareness, because when you do come to sell it, people want to buy into a brand that they can take to the next level. So let me know what you think. Please comment below. Are you going to focus on one website, or are you going to have multiple websites so you don't have all your eggs in one basket? So just a quick video. Hope you liked it. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.